Hey everyone, today I am working a slightly different size scrapbook page. I'm going to work 6 by 12. I've just cut my craft cardstock in half so that it is 6 by 12, and I'm going to fussy cut out these hearts. Now these are from a paper by Jenny Boutin, and I want these individually cut. I think it's going to work really well with that sort of pinky coral orangey paper that I've also pulled out. I'm going to use that paper, like the corally orangey paper, as a background, so it sort of helps to frame things like my photos. And when I do a 6 by 12 layout, which isn't very often, I tend to use smaller photos. I just find it much easier than trying to get a 6 by 4 photo that's going to fit. So I want to use this spray. This is a Cosmic Shimmer Mist, and I'm going to splatter this about. Now the first time I did it, I wasn't happy. Because, well, you know, the first time you do something, you're never happy. So although I'm blotting this off and drying things down and messing around, I do wind up turning it over and using the other side. I've got this strip of paper that I've pulled off from the coral, and that's what I am going to use in the long run. So as you can see, I've flipped the craft cardstock over, and I'm now just spattering it, mopping up, spattering, mopping up, just so that I'm happy with the random spread. And it's the problem you get when spraying things, is that you don't always get what you want. So I'm just deciding where to position and what else I'm going to add. So I've cut this down even further, so it's like a third of the 6 by 12, so it's a couple of inches thereabouts. And the really important thing when using mists is to actually clear up after yourself a bit. I have a cut file which I'm also going to use. I want to use sort of a quarter of it. Well, no, actually near a half. And I'm going to use wet glue. I'm just going to lay it down, and then I'm going to peel it back and add the glue just to several little strategic places so that it stays down and in place. And then I'm just going to cut the excess off. Super simple background for me. That's the background done. Now it's a case of embellishing and adding. So I flipped the piece by 180 and put my photos down at the left hand side so that they're just on the edge of the paper. Left hand side, on the right hand side even. And just trim them down, get them stuck down in a moment. Now I want to make sure that the cut file was stuck before I stuck everything down, which is why I've moved everything off. We've got those down. Now it's just a case of embellishing. So I'll be adding the hearts that I fussy cut earlier. I did consider with those hearts using it on the pink side as well, because I think that would work quite nicely. In the end I decided not to. I stuck with the orange and just moved them around, have them spread down the paper to help the flow. In the circles, out the circles, whatever, and tucked into varying points. I still wasn't happy with it. It still looked a bit too flat for me. It needed something else. So I added some more mist because, you know, more is more. But it does help make it a bit more cohesive. And I also pulled out some copper thread, which you'll see in a bit after I put my title on. I used some copper letters because they're of an orangey tone. I thought they'd work, and I've done it mum and daughter. I did consider mother and daughter, but I don't think I've got enough letters for it, and also, you know, mum and daughter is just as good as mother and daughter. So this particular letter strip has the ampersand. I did toy with a different letter sticker for a while. I also wanted to add day at the bottom, and I didn't want to use the copper stickers for it, so I've just used Jelly Bean Soup white alphabet sticker just to do day at the bottom. And finally we're going to add some copper thread because I wasn't happy with this. There wasn't depth to the piece, and the thread would add some depth to it. Now I did this off camera because this is me we're talking about, and you can see the results. I've got a nice full piece that's going to work cohesively. So try scrapping in a different size. You can do 12 by 12, 8 by 8, 6 by 6, 10 by 8, 11 by 9, whatever you like. Have fun. I really hope this inspired you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!